Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the Luke Urban Fieldhouse for Big 3 boys basketball. Take 2. It's Brockton coming to town, the #1 team in the state. Evan Massoud and Greg Sullivan, sports writer for the Herald News, joining me once again. Greg, always a thrill. Thanks for joining me on short notice.
Oh, I love it. I enjoy doing this. Got a little bit of ham in me. And we enjoyed this game last year, did we not? We broadcast this one. It was our broadcast partnership debut, and I thought it worked well.
It worked very well. And unfortunately for Durfee in that one, they came up short. Came up short against Brockton all 3 times last season as tip-off is underway here, and the game is underway. That was actually a pretty quick pause there.
Enough of us, I guess.
No kidding. After the anthem, they were like, let's go play some ball. So, but yeah, Durfee went 0-3, including the playoff loss right here on this court last season against Brockton in what was a 58-57 loss in round 1 of the playoffs, a game that really could have gone Durfee's way, and they came up just that 1 point short. Kamara puts up a 3-ball that misses. So both teams have possessed the ball, and both teams held scoreless in their first possessions. There's a 3, and that is long and out of play. We'll run down the starters real quick here for the visiting Boxers, who are 14-0 on the season. Marcus Azor, number 12. Jerice Harris, number 13. Abu Kaba, number 15. Marcinal Louis Charles, number 22. And Segun Sunny Okanlola, number 35, coached by Robert Bowen in his 11th varsity season. And Coach Bowen, always a pleasure to chat with when we get to see him. Always gives us his time, likes to talk about the game. 35. There goes Sunny Okanlola for 2. And for the Hilltoppers, there are 5 starters. Number 13, Isaiah Morency. Number 14, Joe Kamara. Number 15, Nilan Nera. Number 21, Gabe DeOliveira. Number 23, Brendan White. Hilltoppers have turned it over back-to-back times. And Abu Kaba to the basket, and we see our first foul and hear our first whistle. And that's Ryan Anderson giving us the call there. I believe it is on Joe Kamara. It is. He picks up the foul.
Oh, you're all over the refs here. That's good. I mean, you know who they are. Ryan Anderson, son of Bruce Anderson, who's been reffing for many years. He has that jaw, that defiant jaw. Ryan's a bit more tempered appearance.
There you go. And his partner in crime tonight is Joel Waters. We see Joel a couple times this season usually. He's a familiar face between the Diamond games we do and the Durfee games we do. That was Louis Charles, Marcinal Louis Charles for 2. So the Boxers out to the quick 5-0 lead here in the first 110 seconds.
Yeah. White from way downtown. And Evan, I'm not sure, in addition to being undefeated, the Boxers, I'm pretty sure, lead the state in hyphenated last names. If you'll take a look at an amazing collection of them.
Well, I'll be honest, while I recognize a lot of names, this year's lineup and roster actually a little bit easier in terms of some of the pronunciations from last year. They really gave us a run for the money last season. So, but yeah, I mean, Brockton is a big team. You know, they have really had a phenomenal start to the year, and you know, I gave Coach Bowen congratulations. I mean, to start 14-0, that's no fluke. I mean, they're doing a lot of things right. If you look at their schedule, they've put up 90 points a couple of times, and they've been in the 80s maybe 4 or 5.
Can we get a shot of your tablet? I like this here.
You like the tablet?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get a shot of the tablet. Yeah, we're looking at we got the cheerleaders on the screen and the teams. That's all right. Yeah. They don't need to see the tablet. You want to see the records, folks? MIAA.net. Search out your school.
A little footnote here, Evan. I did a little extra digging.
Oh, boy.
Because I want to be an asset to this. They are actually 13-0. That Holbrook game was a charity game, and it does not count truly on their MIAA record.
Well, thank you for clearing it, Greg, with the digging. I appreciate that. So 13, regardless, a baker's dozen of wins with no losses, a goose egg for losses, that's still tremendous. And you know, Brockton, what many people may not know, while they're in the same division and the same conference as Durfee, they play half their schedule of Boston teams. You know, we're talking, and that's not to take anything away from, say, the Somersets and the Dartmouths and the Fiends of the world and the New Bedfords of the world, but Brockton's schedule is kind of in a class of their own in a lot of sports.
Mm-hmm. Cambridge and Brighton.
Yeah,
like
when you're knocking off Brighton, you're knocking off BC High, Barnstable's always tough, Marshfield, Holbrook, Well, you said that one didn't count,
That
but
one, yeah.
I mean, still, these teams are nothing to take lightly. To come out on top in all of these games so far, that tells you something about the Boxers team this year. Coach Bowen quick to remind me that less than 10 years ago they had an undefeated season. And they're shooting for that, although it's not their number one goal, he said. His quote to me, he said, goals, make the playoffs, win the big three. Well, they've already made the playoffs. Tonight they can wrap up the big three.
That's one thing. The big three, you can wrap it up in a hurry because it's only the big three.
Exactly.
Some people think they should do, what do you look, Evan, I've lost you here.
No.
And some people think they should do 6 league games and,
Yeah.
what would be 2 home games for one team and another, and then next year you alternate, just to make it a little meatier.
That's an interesting thought process. I wouldn't think that's a bad thing. Maybe you have, in a season like this, right, everybody hosts 2 games against each team, so actually really be 8 games.
If you wanted to extend it to that, yep.
That's actually an interesting thought. See, with Durfee, sometimes, you have trouble filling the schedule. Not going to lie. I mean, sometimes, because that's part of the problem with a 3-team race is you got to find other teams that may have, 5 or 6 teams in a conference. As Camara puts up a last-second 3, no good. You look at, and Joe went down, and he did get pushed back. We saw him go back. It might have hit his head on the way back down.
He's on his back. Kelly Mahoney out there in a flash. It's like she dropped out of the ceiling. Amazing response time there. She's looking at the left leg, hand on knee.
Yeah.
Will await the x-rays.
You always hate to see the injuries. And I look at that, too, and not that I'm like, I never want to see tons of fouls and this and that, and the whistles to slow down the game. But he got knocked back on a 3. And there was contact there. So, for me, in my eyes, how is that not a foul when you have someone going down on his back after putting up a 3? I would assume that would have been some contact there. He doesn't just fall on his own.
Incidental.
Incidental. There you go. Well, the bigger news here is while Durfee has only allowed the 5 points in, say, half of a quarter here, they have yet to find the basket. Been a number of turnovers. Joe up, but
offense has been an issue, and we know they just came off a very low-scoring loss at Fian, too.
Yeah, I asked Coach Guimond about that. I said, you guys, I thought you were turning the corner. 59 against New Bedford. They got into the 60s their next game, and then they had the win against Dartmouth, 73 points, and then a big step back against Fian. And he said, it's just one of those things. It's been a real hot and cold offense, and we're trying to get better. One thing he did say is facing a team like this, like Brockton, he says the pressure's on them. We just got to go out and play.
Durfee is the clear underdog here tonight. So, will they be loose? As Bill Cardell, an old-time wrestling announcer, used to say, will they be loose as in goose? You can write that one down.
That's a good one. Call it a Sullyism. Morency with the ball, trying to get Durfee on the board. Was
good help defense there.
Good defense. Nillen got underneath for the rebound, which was good, but he got it back to Morency, who had a foot out of bound on the baseline. So, going to go back Brockton's way here. That's for 3, and that is off the rim. Look at the stretch. And
yes, those hands were just up in the rafters somewhere.
That's Abu Kabah going up the ladder to get the rebound. Talk about boxing out, doing it yourself. Loose ball. Back to the corner it goes. 15 on the shot clock, and Kabah puts it up. No dice. Morency going to take it back. Gabe DeOliveira crossing center court. Back out to Tyrone Watkins, just into the game for Joe Camara, who left with that injury and is not on the bench. So he went right back to the locker room with, to the trainer's room with Kelly Mahoney. That's 3. That's no good. A lot of lame ducks early.
Oh, yes. This is the old Masonry Society here early, but that can change in a big-time hurry.
And Coach Bowen with 4 players ready to sub in as well. Another turnover for Durfee. That's about a handful already. That doesn't go in. Nera comes out, slows it down, and waits. Almost stolen on the pass to Watkins. Got to watch back court there, fluttering dangerously to the center court line. Brendan Carvalho on the errant pass, able to reel it back in. 12 on the shot clock. What a stingy defense by this Boxers team. My gosh, no room to breathe. And Brockton's first foul is coming at the hands of Jerice Harris, number
Evan,
13.
it's interesting. Durfee is fairly easily beating the first guy, but it's almost like Brockton's trying to funnel them into a situation where these other guys come over and help, and they just suffocate Durfee.
Yeah, and another bad pass that's going to Navon Reed. Is there a bunch of personnel changes for Coach Bowen here in the last 2 minutes of this quarter, giving the guys a break. Morency outside. Really want to see him try to drive like he's doing now. But again, look at that. Double teaming. And just like that, well, Durfee does get it back. But you're right. It's that second effort by the defense. It's, you know, they're not allowing themselves to get fully beat.
Well, we got 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Durfee's scoreless. Nera
is Carvalho.
Under the basket.
Ooh, couldn't put it up. That was a nice, nifty spin there in the air, kind of a pirouette.
Ah.
Yeah, I know, right? I just keep surprising.
I thought we had his move there.
I thought so. Kaba.
We'll wait on it.
And Brockton's going to keep it. That's for three. Boom! That's good from, that was Kaba. 15 got outside. So that's for three. Cavallo.
Oh, no.
That is well off the mark to the right. 8-0 Brockton here in the opening quarter with 75 seconds to play in the quarter.
These guys are very unselfish, Brockton.
Navon Reed, and actually I have a correction. So Navon Reed hit that first three, and now he just hit another one. Number 33 in off the bench with a pair of threes, and it's a double-digit lead. 60 to play in the first quarter. Nilanera opens the scoring. 7 minutes and 2 seconds in. Nilanera finally gets Durfee on the board. You know, it shows you the depth of the team. You can bring in someone like Navon Reed after, 6 minutes of play. He drains 2 threes, and I mean, this very easily right now could be 5-2. Instead, it's 11-2 in 2 shots.
Is that Remy Dumont?
That's Remy Dumont coming in. See who he's going to replace. Brendan Cavallo stepping out on the baseline, making his way back to the bench. There is Reed. Going to get a good look before going for another three. You kidding me?
My goodness.
Navon Reed with the hat trick in about 90 seconds. Holy cow. 14-2. The lead continues to grow for Brockton. That's outstanding.
He's got a nice high release. Hey,
he does. Tyrone Watkins for 2. Waiting underneath, back outside. That's for 3. Bouncer.
Oh!
And it's stuck.
Between the rim and the backboard.
Got to stop the
clock. It's a jump ball, I believe.
They're going to reset. Yeah, it'll be a
jump
jump ball.
Quarter.
No, they reset. Anderson, I believe, is making the decision here. Yep, going to reset.
Well, he wants 3 seconds.
Yep.
All right, maybe we get some sort of spectacular half-court shot in here.
Yeah, we'll see. That was
have them hold things up while I get my camera ready. Nah, it ain't gonna happen.
Out of bounds.
All right.
And now Brockton with 1.7.
Who's texting me here?
Who's texting?
Jeepers crow. Let's go. Come on. All right. Let's see. Oh, they turned it over.
Yeah, it went out of bounds when you were signing in. So that is short.
That was a waste of video.
Oh, man. Well, we're on now, so hopefully nobody thinks that's a waste of video.
Can I say the quarter score? At the end of one quarter here at Skip Karam Court, it is undefeated Brockton 14, Durfee 4.
And Evan's going to be out of a job soon. Oh, my gosh. Sully with the good call there. All right. So we know Durfee struggles offensively. We talked about that. And really showing in that first quarter. And, like I said early on, it's kind of disappointing because I really thought that they had kind of turned the corner a bit the last 3 games before that Fiend game. And unfortunately, really slow start. And, not going to take anything away from Brockton. The defense really is stymieing the Hilltoppers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a couple of big guys who, when they were zone early on, who playing up at the point, that gets in the way of the outside shooting, and then they are so quick to help, very quick to help.
It's like a secondary, almost like with football, right? You get through the line, and then there's a swarm of players there.
Absolutely.
So you're not going far. Not going far.
Excuse me while I tweet.
You can do your thing, Greg. That's okay. We're going to get ready with the second quarter here on Fred TV.
Oh, I like that.
Evan Massoud and Greg Sullivan with you for Big Three Boys Hoops.
Durfee, 4. Post.
There you go.
Post.
And Brockton starts off with the ball. I have to say, we're you ever watched The Office?
I haven't been able. Oh, that's a layup that got missed.
It did get missed. So The Office.
Was that with Steve Carell?
That was the one with Steve Carell, yeah. So that ran.
I like Get Smart. That's my favorite show.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry.
Maxwell Smart and Agent 99. Gotta love it.
Bernie Capel.
Yep.
Siegfried. I'm sorry. Back to the game here. Brockton whipping the ball around nicely, though.
Man, what did I get myself into?
You made the call.
I made the call. Sully, you want to put the headset on? Thumbs up.
Maybe you texted to the wrong person.
A 3-ball, long,
dish.
back to Dos Santos. And he may have another chance here. Jamison Guimon, head coach for Durfee, slapping the hands, not happy. Someone want to box out. My goodness gracious, how many attempts didn't go down for Brockton, but talk about
a 4-shot possession.
Really, maybe 5. Well, anyway, The Office, one of my favorite shows, and Steve Carell's character, Tyrone Watkins, the leading scorer for Durfee with 4.
That's his move, man.
There you
the
go.
Flying scoop.
Beautiful pass underneath, all alone to Doherty Glenn.
Quick answer there.
Very quick. So Steve Carell's character, Michael Scott, he says in an episode, he says, I'm not superstitious, I'm a little stitious. And I'll be honest, that
the master of the language, I love it.
That fits me very well because I am a little bit superstitious as well. And I look at this and I say, Brockton hasn't lost, and we're seeing why. They really are.
There's the move, the corn on the Kaaba, right there, baby.
Move
to the basket.
To the basket.
Been waiting for that one.
I know you have. But, you know, you and I have done now, this is our 3rd game, and in the 2 games you've done, we haven't seen a win. In fact, going back to Vic,
nice. Dumont.
Remy Dumont, going back to having Vic Pereira on last year, I am over with the guests. So I'm a little superstitious in that respect that we're going to break this trend sooner or later. I don't know if it'll be tonight, as that's backcourt.
All right, just touch it and let's move on with life here, pal.
Yeah, but see what they're doing, though? Wasting time. That just took an extra 4 or 5 seconds off the clock. It shortens the game.
We're in the second quarter.
Already second quarter, and that shortens the game. You know, you're limiting possession time.
Why take Kaba out?
Needs a break.
I'll have to talk to Mr. Bowen about that move.
Now, interestingly enough, Brockton inbounded that. They're the ones who had to go back court. Did it not? Am I missing something here?
Durfee had a quick turnover down under here.
Thank you. Okay. I must have looked down at the book for a second. But
no, you can't be everywhere.
I know. So, all right, Nillen inbounds to Tyshawn Lopes, number 25. He's into the game off the bench. And he has picked up a foul, by the way, since just coming in.
Nice move, freeing up that left hand.
Nera gets it back. Nice job. Got to redirect. Morency underneath. Bounces off the defender. Dumont to the corner to Lopes.
His weight around.
Lopes can't put it down. Morency up the ladder, and out of play it'll go. Not a bad sequence for Durfee, but again, the inability to get it in the basket and get the points. Open layups, I mean, that wasn't necessarily open. He had defenders, but chances that are not materializing. That's been the story, unfortunately.
That's a kick.
It is a kick. So 5:01 on the clock here. And again, you know, Durfee, think about the turnovers in the first couple minutes. Speaking of, Brockton turns it over, much to Coach Bowen's chagrin. Durfee turned it over about a handful of times in those first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. They convert maybe half of those to points. This is only maybe a six-point game against the #1 team in the state.
And
So
that's why coaches go crazy over the dreaded turnovers.
Yeah.
Lopes from way down.
he
down.
likes
oh,
the
man,
way
that's a heck of a
downtown.
rebound.
But I'm just saying, you look
Yeah.
at it, this is really, it's not a runaway.
Nope.
Well, there's a three, though, from Dos Santos, who missed about 2 minutes ago on the near side, hit it from the far, and now it's 21-8. I have to say I'm happy
Whoa.
to see very few turnovers. I mean, we're already halfway through the second quarter. This game is just motoring by. That's for three, no good. Dumont with
See if they
the
run.
rebound.
No.
Now going to slow it down. I don't know if they can run because, again, Brockton's so big.
Oh, you think that was a reach?
A little bit.
It's all angles.
Yeah, all angles. And, again, we're not seeing,
Lefty.
we're not seeing chippiness here. Both teams.
Did you have to say that? Now something's going to break out.
Morency. There you go. Isaiah to the hoop and a timeout. So 21-10 with 3:46 to play in the first half.
Was that a Brockton TO?
I think it was Coach Guimond because he was waving the troops in.
Yep, you are right.
All right, so Durfee taking
right again.
timeout number 2. But, when we did the New Bedford game, it was a borderline hostile environment.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
close to blowing up there.
I have never seen in 6 seasons them have to separate fans to have them exit certain parts of the building, exit on one. If you're on one side, exit on that side. I mean, it was not friendly, okay, and there was a lot of backlash, and I know that a lot of the hometown fans felt that New Bedford acted inappropriately, and it started with the coach.
Yeah, he's very animated.
He
was he
is.
making trouble? No, I mean they were
No.
upset about how much freedom he was given to roam and everything. But
Yeah, I could see
Oh.
that. I mean, I go back to, when the Conley boys with Matt Kurt won the state title. I mean, Matt is very animated, and up until seeing Coach Rudolph last 2 weeks ago with New Bedford,
13.
I would say that's for 3. Jerice Harris. I would say Matt Kurt was the most animated coach I had seen.
And what's he doing now? He's officiating.
I know. Go figure. I was very disappointed when I heard that he was not going to come back and be Jameson's assistant coach and JV coach because I liked Matt a lot. I liked him with Conley, and I was thrilled when he was here last year. Got a foul for Brockton coming. So, in any case, I can understand because you don't see a coach who's that animated very often. That's just not – usually there's a little more reservation,
Yes. Sometimes it's a case of old age, though.
Yeah, well, Coach Rudolph is not old,
No, not at all.
So that went down. The first one was good for Tyshawn Lopes. But, there were some issues where, especially at the beginning of the game, might have been spawned by one of the Durfee players who we saw on the tape kind of mouth off after a block a little bit, trash talking. Again, that's part of the game, too. Another 3, no good. Gets the rebound back. Again, nobody there to get the rebound, but Durfee this time, that's to White. I look back at that, and,
Look at that help. Look at that help.
Whoa!
Good help
And what a
defense.
block, too. That was an outstanding block from Doherty Glenn. and
But
we
look
had
at
a
they
foul.
had 3 guys down on the break there. Right with them.
Another foul for the Hilltoppers. It's going to be on Tyshawn Lopes. This is going to be his second in very limited playing time. Both have come this quarter, with Joel Waters giving the bad news to the Hilltoppers. Jerice Harris hits the first.
You got Mr. Mahoney over here. He's looking very Irish over here, huh? Superintendent?
Dr. Malone, yeah.
What did I say, Mahoney?
You said Mahoney.
That's Kelly, the trainer.
Kelly's the you're going to pay for that one. But in any case, there were some, one of the issues that we saw was that there was some foul language. And I think that was, one of the things that. Yeah, that's
More good help.
there's a technical foul. You cannot do that.
No, sir.
And this is not the first time we've seen that.
13.
I think this is. He's had multiple, Isaiah has, on the season, multiple technical fouls. And you got to love the passion, but, you know, again, just like we were talking about Coach Rudolph, is, you know, you got to have some, you got to show a little bit of decorum there. You got to keep it in check, and it's unfortunate to see that.
He made the first tech, the second, boom.
Yep, so Jerice Harris, 4 for 4 at the line. He has had the last 2 trips, and Brockton gets the ball. They lead 28-12 in what, until now, really has not been like a foul-heavy game. Again, really moving along. That was a nice move there to the basket. And here comes another whistle. Marcinal Louis Charles picking up his first foul.
Let's count the hyphenated names here. I need my glasses. We'll do it at the half.
Here's another one. Another foul.
Thanks for jinxing us here.
I know, really.
Right, hyphenated, we'll even, that's not hyphenated, but multiple names, last names.
There you go.
2, 3. Yeah, I guess I got carried away, only 3.
Seems like more.
Because they came in a row on the roster.
Did seem like more than that. Lopes.
Whoa, that is a tough shot.
It sure is. Talk about using the glass effectively. Stolen, punched out by Nera. Back to Lopes.
See, Nera saw that one coming. He was stepping up. Oh.
Outside, A.B. Madrano for 3. It's an 11-point game as they've cut it back. 95 seconds to play in the first half. Another steal. 2-on-1 at the moment. Nera to the basket, and he can't get it to go.
That would have been great.
And a steal the other direction.
Big
Okanlola puts it down for 2 with pressure.
Big swing there in just a matter of like about 5 seconds.
See, those will kill you because Nera had help. He got to the basket and just couldn't get it to go. That one short.
There's some hustle.
Brendan White going to draw the foul on the second chance effort, giving up the body.
Brendan came from like the BCC parking lot flying in on that one out of nowhere.
Well, you know, there's enough ice out there. He probably skated right to the hoop.
Beware the black ice, folks, if you're leaving Durfee.
Yeah. Brendan White in the books with points here. Hits the first shot. That foul was Brockton's 5th, and it was on Abu Kaba, his first.
Oh, let's keep him in the game. That's our favorite player.
White with both shots made, and we're under a minute.
Coach Bowen was telling me his team has a knack of getting up and then getting a little silly with their game. So let's see if, you know, that might help Durfee. Says they haven't had a lot of blowouts.
Another 2-on-1. Lopes gets it to Madrano. What a block there from Kaba.
He's doing it all.
Wow.
I think he's putting on a show for us, Evan.
That was a heck of a block right there. Gonna go out.
Yep.
There's a foul.
That's just a hustle foul. He went for the steal.
A little too much from Harris. He'll pick up number 2. And that is number 6 for the team. And a first quarter that was very quiet in terms of whistles is transitioned to a second quarter with a lot of fouls.
Yeah, ever since you chose to mention it.
Yeah, well. They haven't all resulted in shots.
Look at the big guy bringing it up here. I like that.
I know. 30 seconds left in the half, a 30-19 Brockton lead. Coach Guimond directing traffic, trying to crowd these outside shooters, and they're doing a good job at it, the Hilltoppers are. 7 on the shot clock, gonna have to penetrate.
So far, it's only the perimeter guys who are touching it. That's a good, no need to dribble, son. The big guy.
Breaking, A.B. Madrano.
Sneak away.
Oh, he lost the ball.
That's like a wide receiver being too open, Evan.
Goodness.
All right, play on.
Oh, how frustrating. That is such a killer. I mean, really.
Maybe you heard Kaba coming.
Ooh, and almost a buzzer beater. There were 2 open shots to cut it to a 9-point game. 2 open points, and poor A.B., he's going to be kicking himself for that one. You know, sometimes nothing you can do. But needless to say, it's almost like he took his eye off the ball. knowing he had the space, like you said, like a football receiver, right? You see that open field in front of you, that open court in this instance, and you forget that you got to see the ball into your hands, you know, as we get screened by the cheerleaders.
Brockton. That's
anyway,
okay, though.
That's all right.
People aren't missing out on anything facially.
Speak for yourself, Greg. Wow.
Durfee, 19.
He's losing his there's like no censor on you right now. No filter.
I'm tweeting. I'm dangerous.
Greg is tweeting on Twitter, and we're losing him right now. So we're going to step aside as we end the first half. Brockton up by 11. It's 30-19. Hilltoppers have some work to do. Evan and Greg, we'll see you momentarily. All right, we are here, second half at the field house, about to get things underway in the third quarter. Brockton leads Durfee by 11. It's 30-19, and yes, despite halftime being done, Sully is still on his phone.
It's part of the job.
Oh man, you're killing me. You are in rare form tonight, my friend. I'll tell you.
Just warming up, pal.
Just warming. You folks at home determine whether you want to keep watching based on that statement. So, all right. You know, we talked about it at the end of the half. Durfee has to make the baskets. It's plain and simple. The good news is that, to your point, Brockton's not hitting a lot of shots either.
No, they're not. So will that continue? I mean, they're 13-0. You have a feeling they can heat up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they even haven't – they did some nice offensive rebounding and didn't get a whole lot out of it either. So pretty good challenge here for the Hilltoppers.
So, again, we mentioned Greg said 13-0. They have won 14 games, but one game was an exclusion game. It doesn't count towards playoffs. So, officially 13-0, but they still played a 14th, and they still won it. So, it just kind of shows.
He told me it was a charity game.
Oh, a charity game. Okay. All right.
We're going to be fighting over this the whole second
half? No, not at all. Not at all. So, but yes, that is a good thing for the Hilltoppers. And to your point, you said this at the end of the first half, is that Coach Bowen said one thing he'd like to see the team improve upon, because there's always something, regardless of how good the record is and how well you're playing, always room for improvement, is close out and put a team away.
Absolutely.
There have been a lot of close games that I think Brockton, you could say, maybe is lucky that they won, because they could have 2 or 3 losses so far.
Yeah, he said he's had 8 games where it's really, really been tight, you know, and some real good teams. So let's see what happens. What I do like is the way Robert Bowen truly dresses to match the team's away uniform. Don't you agree?
I've never seen him in anything different when he comes here. Always in the black sweater. Or a vest. Sometimes he's got a black vest, but it's always a black sweater.
Hey, Kathy. Hey, look at this. She's my old neighbor.
Your old neighbor?
People waving to me. This is too distracting. Security. Can we get security over
here? Oh, my goodness. The Hilltoppers lose the ball on the first possession. Lopes got stripped. Going to go outside.
The big guy.
Now Okanlola to Louis Charles, and that is no good. Hilltoppers get the rebound. Joe Camara has not come back to action since going down.
Nice pass.
And in fact, I think he's out because he is dressed in a warm-up shirt. He's not even wearing the jersey on the bench. He's on the far side.
Nice,
and there are crutches.
Move.
We see crutches as well. So Joe Camara out for the count tonight, and just hopefully not for too long in his senior year here.
My man makes nice driving layup.
And Kaba with the deuce, and now 8 points for him. He's leading all scorers.
Oh, bodies flying.
Brendan White going down to the court. And the foul will be on Jerice Harris. This is his third personal.
Has Dr. Malone left the house? I don't see him anymore, do you?
I don't see him. He usually shows up after the game started, and around halftime he ends up heading out.
He's got a long haul home, I think.
White on the inbound pass. So Harris with 3 fouls after that one. He is now on the bench.
Bounce pass. You know I love the bounce pass.
We love the bounce pass, and we love when they go to the basket. And Tyshawn Lopes got there that time. And it's 32-21.
I like Coach Bowen. He's unanimated.
Off the rim. And that was Carvalho taking it back. Another three put up by Durfee. Okunlola.
He takes up some space in there.
He is a large presence for Brockton, that's for sure. Able to really cement himself as a good blocker underneath.
Speaking of cement, he missed that layup, man.
He did. That wasn't Okunlola. It was one of his teammates. Another loose ball. And A.B. Madrid. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Goodness. You stole my line.
Yeah, Marcus Azor, welcome to the field house.
Really? Take the next flight to the Azores. He was up there, man.
Wow. We haven't seen.
That was cool.
Yeah, we have not seen. I know. We haven't seen one of those since Tyree Robinson was playing for Durfee.
See, they are so good at not fouling. They hand straight up.
And a turnover. Coach Guimond wanted a foul there. I mean, it definitely looked like there was some contact as Azor.
Azor again.
Ooh, going down hard there was Kaba, but he's up okay as well. And a timeout.
Better be okay.
Azor with back-to-back baskets for the Boxers, and they up their lead to 15. It's 36-21. Jamison, Guimond, and Durfee take a timeout.
Are we still on? Oh,
we're still on.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that was.
We're on until the final buzzer, Craig.
Yeah. That was interesting because we haven't really had what you'd call an upbeat, fast-paced game, and then all of a sudden that dunk was just like, whoa, like a power surge.
It was. You're right. It actually was. It was not expected. I mean, Durfee had a couple breaks to the end of that first half and couldn't really capitalize very much on that. And then you see just out of nowhere again, Marcus Azor with the jam, and talk about taking it to the house with authority. That's for sure.
Now let's see if we see this, like Mr. Bowen talked to me about, if we see this little silliness letdown, or if they continue to try to step on the throat. It's an old expression of mine I like. Step on the opponent's throat. It's not very kind, is it?
No, it's not very kind, but it sounds like something Bill Belichick would say.
If we have a lull, I have a good Belichick story for you.
Do you really?
Yes.
All right. Looking forward to that. Next time out.
I wonder. Okay.
Hilltoppers trying to work the perimeter. Brendan Cavallo gets the ball. Not really an outside shooter. Another hand getting in there.
Good follow. Kaba.
There he is. Kaba with now 10 points on the night. First player into double digits.
Is he a senior? I hope we have him next year, too. I like him.
You have the roster's there. Yeah. But I think your roster will have the year of graduation under your clipboard.
Just too much is happening here.
I know.
2018, we're going to lose him.
He's a senior this year.
We wish him well in his next endeavor. 22.
That looks on the money.
Oh, we had a nice angle on that one.
We did. Like you said, all about angles, and Marcel Louis Charles with the three ball. It is a 20-point lead,
goodness.
A block underneath, and the wheels have fallen off.
Good.
Nilan Nera gets it back, and the foul in what looked like it was going to be just another trip down. By the way, Nilan Nera with a jersey number change. He's wearing 22.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Not sure. But he is now wearing number 22.
One of those blood issues, or what? What's going on here?
It's possible. You got the 2 and the foul, so a 3-point play, and we'll change the number in our book now.
That's going to mess me up royally.
I know, you with the running score here.
Yeah, this is.
You're going to be like, who's 22?
Wasn't he 15?
He was. Okunlola fighting off the defenders. Guy. Yeah, he was 15. But see, if I recall, I thought he was 22 last year.
Oh, Lopes with a fine spin move.
That was nice, and it did not fall.
Look out, here comes Kaba.
Kaba, look at that move, too.
Okunlola, Kaba's back.
Third try, no fouls.
He has an idea what he's doing.
Azor driving the lane.
Won't go. Kaba's got it. No, the big guy.
Okunlola.
What's the call here? I'm not sure about that one. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
We're not going to dwell on it.
Not going to dwell. So, yes, Nilan Nera was 22 last year, by the way, looking in the book. He changed to 15 this year. 3-ball from Reed. Talking about getting a good look, and boy, this is, again, a 20-point game again.
Plus 20.
That last foul, by the way, that gave Nilan the extra shot was on Azor. It was his second and the team's second.
You want to hear my story?
Yeah, let's hear your
Bill
Belichick
Belichick's
story.
first victory as an NFL coach was with the Cleveland Browns, and it was at in Foxborough, beat the Patriots, 1990 whatever. And I was covering that game, and he had pulled the trick play that helped them win, so I wanted to ask him about that play, and I knew I needed to ask it right away before all the Cleveland writers were asking about, well, how's it feel to get your first win, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was determined to get the first question in. So at the post-game press conference, they opened it up, said, any questions? And I jumped in front, and I said, Dave, what was all about that trick play? And he just looked at me and said, who's Dave?
Oh, no.
I botched his first name.
Oh,
So
my
I just
God.
had a cold sweat, and I just kind of shrunk away. Someday I want to track him down and see if he remembers that.
You know what?
My man, Dave Belichick.
That's great. That's fantastic. Bill Belichick, knowing his mind, I bet he remembers that.
Oh, my goodness.
I bet he remembers that.
I
Another
would not
block.
be surprised.
Azor to
Oh!
the hoop. Second chance effort by
22.
Louis Charles with the putback, and the lead is now 22 points.
They are kind of,
They're
they've come out of
closing
the
out.
paddock now.
They're closing out. Another block. Nera can't get it back. Reed has
Nice
it blocked
job.
by Gabe DeOliveira, but the Boxers still
He's
keep
going
it.
to shoot.
There's a three from Kaba. No good.
Oh, boy.
Hilltoppers box out.
Well done.
Nera, nice job with two Boxers surrounding him, trying to throw knockout punches. Lopes to the basket. No
Nice
good.
hustle. Is that Dumont in there?
It is,
Ah.
but Okanlola comes away with the big basketball there. Got the hands in there.
To the hoop. Oh, that's
And
a
a
nice
foul.
move. Is that Azor again?
It is. He's putting them in underneath, and he's going to shoot the extra basket as well. I think that was a Nera that got tagged on the foul.
My
It
goodness.
was. That's his first, Nillen. And that's the team's first foul here in the second half.
Evan, I think they're stepping on the throat right now.
And they're stepping on the loud pedal for sure, because they're
Yeah, they're
they
looking
are
sharp, and they're so very unselfish.
very unselfish, and you can see they're just it's business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's no, they hit a shot and there's no big celebration.
No.
There's no there's no trash talking. This is not like the New
No.
Bedford game.
Absolutely,
It's
yeah.
not.
Wow, coast to coast. Come on. Oh!
Doherty Glenn
Sorry about that.
tried to put it back.
I like a guy right off the bench says, I'm in the mood for a dunk. He almost put it down there on the follow.
No kidding. And then Jose Montero Jr., who just came into the game, going to pick up a foul. Oh, I'm sorry. That was that was number 3. Yep. So the third one for Brockton, and again Montero Jr. Dumont for 3, no good.
It's
Going
off
down
Durfee.
was Watkins went down, kind of funny. He's limping. I think he rolled his ankle. Jogging gingerly.
Let's see what Brockton does here. Where they go with the offense. Somebody needs to flash to the foul line.
Far side again.
Oh, my
Another
goodness.
3 for the Boxers. This time it's Dos Santos. This is his second one from downtown in the game. Brendan White. That's money, and that's good. That's just Durfee's second 3 of the night. You compare that
Wake up.
lost ball. Compare that
an
to
assist
1,
for
2,
Kabah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3 balls for the Boxers.
And I think, obviously they're on route to go over double figures and threes, and that's called using your threes when you can get that many.
Mm-hmm. That's a very impressive night offensively. And I don't think it's a matter of Durfee not able to defend either.
No.
Brockton's getting the shots.
Durfee can't pack it in because these guys are penetrating too. See, that
Oliveira.
was such a contended shot right there.
Yep. Samuel Darius, number 23, just into the game as well. In the paint.
Wow.
No good. A little brick.
21.
Put back by Doherty Glenn. That's his second basket. 54-27 with under a minute to play in the third. Brockton really distancing themselves from
I
Durfee.
think Kabah planned that because it went right to 21. White, nice little stroke.
That's
Won't
short
go.
as well. You know what's interesting is that we've seen a lot of times the Durfee threes this season and last season and even the season before.
Look at that rebound.
Can't get it to go. De Oliveira with it. The 3 balls for Durfee, they like to take them from further out. Maybe it's practice for college. I don't know. But we see them a lot of times they're too long. Tonight, they've all been short. They're not even making it to the rim. That one was a little long.
And
but
no one homed a rebound on that one, Evan.
Nope, not at all. 13 seconds in the third. Now down to 10. Brockton will hold. That's Montero Jr.
Durfee's rooting section just tough night for them.
It is. And
they want to help. Nice pass.
And that counts,
that
folks.
Was beautiful.
That basket counts. Doherty Glenn. I said that backwards. A very, very impressive 26-point rout by the Boxers in the third quarter, and that is to Durfee's 8 points.
Ooh, here comes a painful tweet.
I know. 3-6-8.
Click.
Tough quarter for the Hilltoppers. They take a step back, and Brockton, as we said, on the loud pedal to the metal, accelerator to the floor, whatever you want to say. The Boxers looking like the #1 team in the state, as we kind of expected.
Brockton, 53-27.
So, Greg, what would you say, from what we're seeing? I know you're tweeting away here, but it's okay. 8 minutes left in the game. What can Durfee do, at least for pride here, to try to maybe close the gap a little bit here? Just make it a little more competitive.
You know something? I'd love to come up with something brilliant, man, because I don't think strategically or effort-wise, the effort might have sunk a little. They might have been a little down that last minute and a half. I don't think they're going for bad shots or anything, but these guys must have blocked 10 shots. They've hit 8 threes, and then they started shooting well and running well. You come up. I'll throw that one to you, Evan.
Throw it back to me, huh? Well, I would say that, for a team that is struggling offensively, and we've known that really from the start, at the start of the season. It's been very hot and cold, and unfortunately more to the lukewarm side than definitely not hot, more to the cool, lukewarm side. They've struggled offensively.
Oh, gosh, we're underway.
We are underway. And, unfortunately, coming on the heels.
That was silly.
Not necessary. But when you're up by this many points, you could do that for Brockton. But, when you look at it, as Watkins puts up a 3 with almost no liftoff either, planted on the ground. Quick transition to this side. Samuel Darius is fouled by the Hilltoppers. It's the second team. I look at it and I say, coming on the heels of what was a real big step back, I thought, against Fian, where they only put up 31 points, as Brendan Cavallo picks up his first foul. Facing Brockton at this time is probably one of the worst things that could have happened.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I understand where Coach says, the pressure's on them. They're the perfect team. They're the top team. Absolutely. It's a lonely place to be at the top. Everybody's gunning for you. However, they're definitely, I'm sure this Durfee team is feeling it, though, because to be averaging, minimum 50, and that might be on the generous side, to be averaging 50 points a game as a varsity Division I boys basketball team, that's not where you want to be, regardless. It's not to say it's anyone's fault, per se.
Evan, I need some help here.
You need some help.
It was 53 at the half, correct?
Yes.
And how many?
No, 56.
Oh, my goodness. I missed something there.
56.
Holy smokes.
It's all right.
Thank you.
You are welcome. We're all in this together here. So it was 50.
Make a nice
it was 50. We were 56. We had the 1-for-2 trip at the line by Samuel Davis to start this quarter, and then the Watkin 3-ball for Durfee.
35 with the tip.
Yep, 35 with the tip. As Doherty Glenn came up empty in that trip for Brockton. Now back the other direction we go. Back to White this side. Cavallo. Back to White. White double teamed. Now to Nillen. We're in 22. White quickly.
Look at that. They're even contending three-pointers.
And it was tipped. Montero Jr., who just took it up the court and now is taking the jumper and sinks it for 2. His first points. He had the block on the other end.
These guys just have a lot of players.
Yep.
You know, they probably don't have anyone who's one of the top 10 players in the state, even anything like that. But they're just a lot of good players.
Yep, they're solid. I mean, we look across the board here, 9 points, 8 points. Bunch of 3 players with 7, 1 with 10. I mean, they can all score.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's dangerous.
Clunk.
Sound effects brought to you by Greg Sullivan.
No, but I would like to see, Evan, and I'm just an old school person, so I want to see someone hit a bank shot.
Nilanera, number 22, with the 3.
And we have a little pause in the action. What's going on here?
A timeout.
I don't have any more Belichick stories.
61-33 is the score.
I found my mess up
you
here,
found
pal.
it?
Yep.
All right.
Things were just happening too fast.
That's all right. Like I said, we're all in this together here. That's why I keep the book as well. So
what was it, 56?
At the end of 3, 56
Good
to 27.
32, 34, 36.
Sully's going to check the book. While we have the
49,
timeout, I'm going to give
52,
you the
54. Got it.
Dave Olmschneider doing the game with WSAR, our baseball coach here, turned around and grabbed my Kit Kats.
It's not the
off
first
the table.
time.
I know. Wow.
He's actually on a restricted diet, so he just needs to keep his paws off that, because we'll call you doctor.
All right, let's. That's a taunting foul right there, Greg. Don't do that. All right, technical foul.
There's Big Hunter Salmon over there. Remember him?
Yes, I do. Good to see another familiar face. We always get good. The alumni always make their way. The alumni always make their way here for these games. But looking at the road ahead, now that we're out of the timeout and the Kit Kats basically took my train of thought away. Goodness gracious. You know what? We'll look at the road ahead in the next timeout. I just can't. Man.
It's just not there anymore.
Nope.
This game is rapidly slipping away. We may shut down the entire broadcast. Mike D'Almeida with his glasses on. Oh yeah, have another one.
No injuries.
Hang
too much
in there,
paperwork.
big guy.
Way too much paperwork if there's any injuries.
Yep. Oh, another hustle foul.
Yeah. And you know, when at this point in the game, when you have fouls to give, I mean, it's acceptable, I guess. Again, they're not malicious.
Malicious. Whoa!
Okanlola down the court.
Why even think about
Can't
getting
put
in his
it up.
way?
Got his own rebound and then is fouled.
I'm not sure. I wonder if Durfee at this point with this score said, "I'm not taking a death-threatening charge from this monster."
He is a big player, biggest one on the court.
But I tell you, the kid sees the court. He's been outside on their offense sometimes, the way it rotates, and he sees open teammates very well.
Yep. First one misses
Got to work on the old free throws, but
Okanlola. How refreshing, and again, maybe I'm jinxing this early, but how refreshing is it to see a game where neither team through almost 3+ quarters has gotten into bonus in terms of fouls.
Yeah, just keep
it's really
life moving.
It really is. It's let them play. Again, nothing's out of hand here. These hustle fouls, you would think of those as malicious. Again, going back, if it was the New Bedford game, be a different story. The number of fouls in that game were just like astronomical.
These guys are great at contending shots.
Gabe D'Oliveira gets off the 3. In what looked like was going to be another lost possession, D'Oliveira with a 3. Durfee's hit 3 threes in this quarter, but that's it from the field.
Nope, it's not there. Move it back around. 10
Little
with
floater.
a floater. Oh, we like that.
That was beautiful from Montero Jr.
Little Allen Iverson action there.
Really, I mean, talk about having the perfect touch. Rolled it right off the fingertips. Nera, again, in traffic. Draws the foul. Doherty Glenn going to pick it up. That's his first. 5th team foul. So as I say that, we may end up with bonus. But still, we're keeping the game moving here.
Are you familiar with Pete Doherty?
No.
Former very mediocre wrestler known as the Duke of Dorchester.
All right, I've heard that nickname, but honestly, I never was one that followed wrestling. So that's
No,
That's on
it's
me.
never too late.
Never exactly.
Oh my God!
Brendan White. That's
Look
off,
at that.
off the top
Because he
of the
had
glass.
somebody right
He
in
did.
his face.
Yeah.
And they don't foul either.
No. Again, disciplined.
I know.
Very easy for Reed.
Baseline
2 points
J.
there. 66-36.
Although I will tell you, if Brockton doesn't get its 10 threes, they're going to mess me up because I made it sound like that was a lock. And they're probably not. Oh, wow, that's a long shot.
Tyshawn Lopes with an air ball that came back to Durfee. That was hit from like NBA range. Nara wants one from NBA range.
Yeah,
No
boy.
good.
What do you think of this?
What do you think of what? You tell me.
These long threes?
Oh, the long threes? Honestly, I think they're forced to him because, number one, you're down by 30. Number two, anywhere close to the perimeter, it's buttoned up. They can't
Look
get
at that rebound.
That's
the kid on the floor
outstanding.
got it.
Outstanding. Number 13, that's Jerice Harris. Seriously, they get close to the perimeter they can't hit it. They're getting blocked or they're getting the hands in the face. They can't see the shot. Back
Whoa,
to the basket.
he was thinking dunk.
He sure was. That was Navon Reed.
But they knocked it away from him.
And a
Will that go?
foul. Nope. There was a whistle and a foul on Reed. So he picks up.
Yeah,
the
he shouldn't be
team's-
thrown away. They should
Nope.
have made him go get it.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing now, right? Where's the line? And you tell me, where's the line? Because Reed, he didn't slam it down in disgust, but he threw it away to delay play, whereas Morency slammed it down and he got a tech.
I think you just got the line right there.
Is that the line?
Yeah.
No slamming? No slamming of
No
equipment?
slamming damming.
Okay, all right. I gotcha.
These guys have some pretty good subs, wouldn't you say? Off the glass.
Off the glass.
That's what I was looking for.
6 points for Montero Jr., all off the bench, all in this quarter.
You know Montero Sr. must be proud somewhere. Perhaps here tonight. Watkins? No.
Yep. And Brockton up into 70. They have 70 points. Another dunk. Montero Jr. Makes me think of Indiana Jones
I hear ya.
with Sean Connery where, Harrison Ford said, "Don't call me Junior."
On the line.
On the line the other direction. Oh, and Nara with the three that doesn't count because the whistle came, but feel good three. My dad would say, you never want to waste those because now you just made one when it didn't count.
That's it. Your dad is a very wise man. I
what'll
used to
happen-
play against him in CYO, and he was a bit of a pain, but that's because he hustled. He and that Tom Orban. Oh. Don't shoot it.
Tyrone Watkins, who's played most of the night, picking up his first foul. It's Durfee's 5th team foul. Another three, that's off the mark.
Yeah.
Another one, a good angle. Darius couldn't put that in as we come close to the 2-minute warning. Nila Nara to the basket. It's fouled, goes down awkwardly. He'll shoot two. Nara has been to the line once. It was for an and one. And Durfee is into bonuses. Brockton has committed its 7th foul. This one is Louis Charles's 3rd.
I like that. Louis Charles.
Yeah.
Now, I guess New Bedford gave Brockton at least one. I don't know if they've played again. They gave him a pretty good game the first time. And it's
Nice block by Cavallo. Nillen went 1 for 2 on that trip. Coming back, Junior to Darius, out of bounds. It kept in by both of them.
what's going on? I didn't hear a whistle. Did you hear a whistle?
I didn't, but apparently there was, because now Durfee with getting the ball back. I did not hear a whistle.
What's going on here? No one paying attention to anything?
I think everybody's confused, unless Coach Bowen said, look, you closed out. Just kind of take it easy a bit. Cavallo with his first basket of the night, so he's in the book. That's for 3. That is long.
Not terrible, but oh well.
And Hilltop, again, no fouls, I'm sure, for Brockton now. Just going to let Durfee play it out. Well, I say
Dumont going hard.
Dumont to the basket, gets fouled, and he'll take 2. Brockton's 8th. All right. You started to say something, and I lost it. I apologize.
Totally slipped my mind. This happens at home all the time.
Samuel Darius picking up his
Wow,
second
nice
foul.
backspin. Look at that backspin on that.
Sometimes you need that backspin. It helped that time.
Very tight. It's like Kevin Whiting had the most intense backspin I've ever seen on a jump shot.
Dumont, 2 for 2 at the line. He has 4 points on the night. Durfee up over 40.
Nice.
Spin move.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
10 points in the fourth for Junior. 74-41, 90 seconds to play in the game.
You're getting pretty familiar with him there. Just say Junior.
Yeah, well, he's the only junior on the team. Carvalho with his second basket.
Pace is too much for me here.
Got to be quicker than that.
I'm running out of this page, and it's my last page.
Oh, I see. That's no good.
Oh, look out. Call the cops. All right, I'm going to have to improvise. Lopes.
Lopes for 2, and we have 60 seconds to play in the game.
Okay, I got to make another little area over here. Down the middle. Dish. A tricky dribble. What do you think? No. Oh,
no
my goodness.
I really would like to see the Hilltoppers get a couple more baskets before the last 30 seconds are up here and maybe get to the 50-point marker, just for pride. Lopes, nice basketball move there. Can't put it up. Nera.
I don't blame. He got the rebound. Shoot it.
Nera with the rebound. Nice job there. He's had a nice second half.
What's the number change?
Nera with, I guess so, 11 points total for Nera. It's 74-47.
And looks
palindromic number.
Yes.
How's that?
Woo, doggy.
And we're going to let it run out. Boxers are going to improve to, according to you, Greg, 14,
you can go. You can trust me on this puppy.
14-0, 74 to 47.
Tweet.
And I have to say, it is nice to see that Durfee put up 20 points in the fourth quarter. You could say that Brockton maybe took the foot off the gas a little bit, but maybe not, because you look at they put up 18, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I would say things to take away from this game.
Yes.
Well, the first thing to take away from this game is that Durfee got up over 40 points, which is a good thing. So the offense hopefully coming around. Coach Guimond said, you know, a third of the season is left, now about a quarter of the season after tonight. There's still time, but unfortunately, you know, at 6-8, now 6-9, and Brockton, by the way, has just won the Big Three with tonight's win. So let's just
congratulations.
Right, let's make that known as well. So Brockton is your Big Three champ this year, but you know, Durfee at 6-9 now. When you got to win half of your games to get in the tournament, well, time's running out, and it's getting to must-win situations as we're getting completely screened right now by the Boxers, who are, you know, standing in the shot. So that's all right, and you're tweeting anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's all unraveling. Don't worry about it.
It's all unraveling. It's okay. Hey, there we are. Hello again. All right. Hey, you know, we'll wrap it up now. It's been a lot of fun, Greg. Thank you again for joining us.
I love it.
Joining me. I'm glad that you're able to join in. I know you usually handle boys basketball, so I know I can always count on you when I'm in a pinch, especially. But
only when you're in a pinch, but I have no problem with that.
All right. It is a final score from the Fieldhouse, 74-47. Our crew behind the scenes, made up of Fred TV students and staff and former students and the Kit Kat bar. Padet Lack on the floor camera. He's got the bump shot to us. He graduated last year. Thanks for coming back, Padet. Jake Fitzgerald, who's working with us part-time. Jake running the main shot. He graduated a few years back. David Montero, our senior, he's directing with my colleague Gary Lee assisting on the side. So a great team effort overall.
It's the people behind the scenes who make it.
Yeah, and we love to give credit because this doesn't happen with just me. Believe me, there's a lot of working pieces when we do these multi-camera shoots, and I'm very grateful. We got a great team. The students are always willing to work. Again, alumni willing to come back, alumni willing to work and come back. So,
are you this nice when the camera goes off?
Of course.
Oh, all right.
Come on, I'm a pro. I'm a professional. All right. For Greg Sullivan, I'm Evan Massoud saying so long from Durfee. We'll see you soon.